We settled Mars over a century ago. Making this dusty rock our home wasn't easy, but the promise that led us across the void was freedom. Something my family's bled for many times.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Red Faction Armageddon Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. And this level is surviving the barge. So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to get on the thing. And this level is hard, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to bullshit, this is a tough level. And it's tough because it's unfair. And a lot of people will know where I stand when it comes to challenge of games. I enjoy a good challenge as long as it's fair. And when it's not fair, it pisses me off to high heaven. So this next section definitely pissed me off, and it will probably piss a lot of people off. The main reason for it is you can't move when you get on the turret. So you can't get in cover, you can't do anything. So you are literally a beacon of please shoot me, and there is a lot of enemies coming up. And the reason why it's challenging is because you cannot physically kill them all unless you are, you know, the best and most accurate Red Faction Armageddon player there has ever existed. Because there's just too many of them. They're all acrobatic. Sorry, the barge is moving. It's a pain in the ass, and it just sucks. It sucks so hard. And what's going to happen is you're going to be on the barge for a period of time where you'll be shooting stuff. The barge will pull up, and then you have to get off it and do some stuff. When you get off it, it's a lot easier, but it is still pretty challenging because there's a lot of enemies, and the strategy I'm going to be utilising is the run like a motherfucker and roll like a Mrs. Fucker. And it's literally all I can do, because if you stand around and shoot them all, it just takes forever, and it's much quicker this way. So, when you start on this barge, it does have unlimited ammo, so don't be afraid of firing. What's going to happen here on this section is you're going to get killed a few times. It's just how it works. There's going to be a couple dudes that will come repeatedly hit you, and until you learn where those people are, you're going to struggle. So you just need to bear in mind they're very acrobatic, they will jump onto rocks and sit on little cracks and shit. And you need to try and kill the ones that are doing the damage, because some of them, as we know, this is Red Faction of course, will jump around and just, you know, have a cig, just chill out as if they're waiting for the buddies. Others will throw shit at you for days. And as soon as you can highlight the ones that are the trouble, they're the ones you can kick their ass off. But this first section is not bad at all. There's no real threat on that first area, and now we have to get off. So straight away, there is a few enemies, and there's going to be a hell of a lot more. So just run through these areas. Make sure you repair anything that's been destroyed, that's blocking your way, sorry. There's the shiny laser beam dudes. Just keep on running past them, keep on rolling, keep on getting where you need to be. I don't recommend doing that. That was me, you know, just winging it because I saw the bridge go and I was like, come on, make the jump, and I somehow made the jump. Up here's a green guy. He can knock the platform to bits like it's just happened right then. Super frustrating and annoying, but you need a little bit of luck on this section to run past it, and I do get lucky, so just make sure you've got your repair thingler on. Run past him. Look, he's chilling out with his other buddy there. There's two of them, and oh, guy nails me. Guy still owns me. And there's three of them, and I'm like, oh my god, don't die! And I don't. So there you go. And as soon as you get over here, you can repair. You can press on this. There's a cutscene. You're safe in the cutscene. And as soon as you come out of it, checkpoint. That's what makes it worth it. And the quick way to get back on the barge is to do that. Then hold X and get the hell out of Dodge. So the first section right then could have been very challenging, but as you've just seen, there is a very cheap and easy way to do it. And I'm still getting shit thrown at me from those dudes I ran from, so not a good situation to be in. But the luxury is, if you die on this next section, when you reload on the checkpoint over there, there will be no enemies, so it'll completely despawn everything. So this next section is a few more of those, I don't know what those plant things are called, but they're a pain in the ass. They kind of look like the ones on Death Smiles that fire those crazy looking pink bullets. But just keep moving forward on the barge. There's a few bits that suck on this barge. One of them is coming up here, where we've got to shoot this machine, because I don't know if we do it on this revolution. I think it comes up a little later, but you have to destroy all the power sources on that energy machine, and it's a real bad section. But yeah, we're going down here first. So this is the part where there's going to be a lot of fucking enemies, and you want to clean them up as quick as you can. This car are talking to us. I don't know why that missile went red then. It must be when you fire the entire package or something. But here we go once again, getting off so we can open the lock and progress forward on the barge. And it's the exact same thing we did last time. Run from everything. There's a bloody hive, so that means there's going to be stuff spawning. There's something up there shooting at me. There's a fella on the wall. There's another hive. It's like, oh goodness me. And when you first start doing this, you will panic a lot because you're not used to running past a ton of enemies. And it gets to those spots where you're just like, how the hell am I alive? It's like, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. And you're using, the positive nature of words to try and get past it. But it's a lot easier than it looks. And that's what you've got to bear in mind. And always remember your impulse. That impulse is going to save your life. This is actually the most dangerous part of this section, getting back on the barge, because you can't just jump on it like I did. When you run all the way over here, the barge isn't there. It has to come through the door where the lock was, and then you get on it. So you're going to have to defend against a ton of aliens while the barge turns up. And that is easily the hardest part of this. And that bastard won't move because he's blocking my way. But I get past him. I've got just over half life. And this is the hard bit. So I generally stand behind these boxes, but bear in mind the boxes are not indestructible. They will destroy them, and I'm trying to get my life back. The only problem is shit's following me, and the closer stuff is, the more dangerous it is. And just look at my map or my little radar thing or whatever it is. Look how many red dots there are to my left. There is a lot of dudes, and they're everywhere. So I'm just kind of rolling. I'm just kind of dodging. I'm just kind of hoping for my life to come back. And this shelf here can be super useful as long as there's no aliens following you. You'll notice that the numbers have definitely thinned out from what they were. That is all about, just getting a little bit lucky sometimes with your explosions and whatnot, and with the enemy's behaviours. I did die, I think, one time on this section because I had an entire army following me and I couldn't get on the barge, but the checkpoint's not too bad because it's back at where we press the button, and all you have to do is run that little gauntlet, get back over here, and wait for the barge to turn up. The only problem that you're going to be facing now is, once you get back on the barge, this is easily the hardest part of the barge area, because there is a lot of enemies that are going to start shooting at you, and it's really tough. But hopefully you'll get lucky, hopefully you'll learn the patterns and you'll learn which enemies to, prioritise, and you shouldn't have too many deaths here. But if you're going to die anywhere, it's at this section coming up. So let's have a look what's happening. So this bridge in front of me, one of these bridges has one of those green dudes on it, and if you take the bridge out, he will fall, and it saves you shooting him. But I mean, look at how many fucking bridges there are. Each of these bridges, there's going to be enemies on them, and as you can see on my map, there is a ton of red dots in front of me. And you just need, look, they're spawning in. You can see those circles that have the elongated edges on them. That means it's a spawn. Kind of looks like a fucking, I don't know, crazy knife thing, double-sided knife, like Darth Maul's equivalent of a pen knife. And they're everywhere, but I'm not getting shot right now because they're too busy jumping around and being acrobatic. So just look around yourself, pick off the ones you can see that you can hit that are stationary. That's the dude walking around on the catwalk. If you shoot the bridge, he will fall into the lava and kill him instantly. There's an infected building. I'm not getting shot at all, this is a miracle right now. On this section, you're going to get lit up like a motherfucker, and you just have to get that one run where you don't get shot to shit. That is pretty much what this run is, because what you've got to bear in mind is when anybody makes a guide, the recording run, the successful run should I say, is not necessarily the easiest run, because if you think about it, the run that you complete successfully is the run where the game wasn't as hard as it was before, because you didn't fail, and before you did fail because it was just too difficult that time. And that's why some of these bits will look a lot easier than they actually are, because you don't see the 20 videos that I trimmed out where I died or I got my ass slapped. But I mean, this section right now, they've almost been kind to me because I'm not getting shot, I'm not getting lit up, and as soon as you get past here, as long as there's no enemies behind you still shooting you, you are kind of safe for that section. But I'm not too sure where the next checkpoint is. But that right then, that is pretty much a perfect run, because it looked easy, and that is exactly what you want, because that bit can be hard as fuck. And there's a really bad cut coming up in this video, and the reason for it is that I died on the section coming up, and when I respawned in, I was shooting at the opposite target, so you're going to see me shoot to the left and then immediately cut to shooting to the right. So just be mindful of that. I would say prioritize the target on the right, but I'll show you that later on when it turns up. There I go, pausing the game again, nice and professional. Should have trimmed them out, but they're not too long. So we need to activate the lock once again, and this is another area where we'll be running through a bunch of enemies and skipping as many as possible. This one's slightly easier though, because there's two options on where you can run. The only problem is him. He's a lot tougher than the other guys that will be sat around, but if you magnet gun him, there's nothing he can do. He's pretty pathetic, really. He's just a bit imposing when you first see him. And you can make him fall into the lava if you if you time it right. There you go. And it's an instant kill, so super useful. But just come over here, do whatever you need to do to this, where he shoves his hand in those circle things and, you know, gets it on with the ghost in the machine. There's your checkpoint, back onto the barge, and then back forward. And I don't know what section's coming up. I don't know if it's another difficult section on rails, or if it's the machine you've got to blow up. But we'll find out. Oh, I think this is the bit where you shoot the stuff to your left. Yeah, you shoot this scum to your left and you go through a little shortcut. And there's only, I mean, 2 minutes left of this level, but the last 2 minutes are easily one of the more challenging sections. Because it's that the machine that you've got to blow up is such a pain in the ass. I can't even stress enough how much it's really annoying. But there we go, nice sip of water rejuvenates me for the next 2 minutes. But clear the path. If you could get off this turret, it'd be so much easier, because you could just go and hide somewhere and get your life back and then come back on it, but it's never that simple. But here we go, anyway, we're going through this bit. There's a little quiet section before we get where we need to be, as he puts his foot down and starts banging into the rocks. And Mason is covered in blood. I don't know if you've noticed, but his model's now got lots of streaks of blood all over him, and it kind of reminded me of The Suffering, if you ever played that for the PS2, where you were like the psycho guy killing other psychos, and you could get covered, absolutely caked in blood. And it stayed on your character instead of, you know, eventually disappearing like it did in most games. And it was almost like a selling point. But this is where the cut's going to be, people. Don't shoot on the cannons on your left, shoot the ones on your right. There's the cut. Focus on the right one first. If you can destroy that, shoot immediately at the green dude. He's the guy that's going to be hitting you on your way around. And he's going to hit much harder than everybody else does. So if you can kill him, then you can spin back around and shoot the other stuff that are shooting you, because what the machine will do, what the barge will do, sorry, is regardless if you don't shoot the targets, it will continue to circle this area. So if you can clean up the enemies, they will no longer pose a threat, and you will be able to take down the whatever the hell you're shooting at, those bits of the machine, at your own leisure. And that's kind of what I found out, because when I was first trying to do this area in my first few runs, I was just trying to destroy the machine as quick as I could. But I found out aiming at the enemies as well, just to thin them out a little bit, keeps you alive a lot longer. And this run proved to be very simple once I'd found out that little, you know, get rid of the green guy, because he was the guy that kept on just shitting on me from all directions. And just every so often look around yourself to see who's hitting you the most, pick him off, and then focus on the machine. And as soon as the machine goes, end of the level, and we are in the final section of the game, which I think is the Crab Walker again, and that is actually pretty challenging. There's one area that's cheap as fuck, and you will die a lot unless you know where it comes from. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope it helped, and you take care now.